are live doing what we do best, and that is putting $10 into the big board. Turn on some lights here for the effect. Got a little bit of news today so far. We got Baker Mayfield joining the Bucks, fully expecting him to start over Kyle Trask. So if you've been getting some Trask shares, it's not looking the best for those. Let's turn this annoying thing off. Yeah. So we'll get into some of that. David Montgomery to the Lions. There's definitely some stuff being shaken up right now in free agency. We're seeing Zeke most likely not returning. Oh, yeah, not returning to Dallas. So who's guessing Bijan? We'll see if he falls. I think they have the 26th pick in the draft. Wild. Absolutely wild so far. So we'll see. What are we missing? We're missing something here. We're missing something. Chef's kiss. There it is. Oh, you gotta get the lights on. Nooner's draft, all new to us. We gotta take care of it comes first. True first pounder. So let's jump into a big board here. David Montgomery in my last one was super reached upon. Penny was reached upon. And honestly, where people were getting Penny around pick 180 to start these drafts, the fact that he's getting reached on in like 120, 115, even earlier in some, you just have to bet that he misses at this point. Let me know if my mic is lagging as well, because looks like my bars are down for whatever reason. I might have to switch over to a different internet. So let me know in the chat if it's coming through choppy before we kick this off. TB Buck says, don't count out my boy Trask just yet. I know. It's just Baker. So it's not like he can't beat him out, but it's not the best. Sharbo to Dallas. Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. He would definitely be a good fit there. But for right now, I mean, Tony Pollard to the moon. It's just tough because I expect them to bring someone else in the draft. So, and free agency's deep. We'll see where Jamal Williams ends up. Seeing a lot of Cincy for Jamal Williams, which is a pretty damn good spot for him. We saw P. Ryan go to the Broncos. I think that's actually a really good spot for P. Ryan as well. Let's jump in. You fellas ready? Ready for a big board? Let's count it out. There's a 5-second delay. Get your spoons out because we're about to scoop some value. And we're waiting for 7 people. Get the spoons out. People are reaching all over the place right now. And that just allows you to scoop up the value. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we always do. And we are ahead of a lot of ADPs this offseason. I think it's been very successful. Very successful so far. Happy with where the exposures are at. So far, so good. Wish we had a little more Penny. We're sitting around, I think, 10 or 11% Penny. And where he's going now, we're not going to be able to touch him. So we'll probably end up with around 7%. It depends. If we get into some non-pounders drafts and maybe some overnight drafts, people won't be on the Penny news. But in these pounders drafts, like he's gonna go. Let's go. We got TB Bucks, Chez. We're in the back end here. Recognizing 2-pounders here. Ketchup Stain is always drafting. Let me know if I didn't call out your name and you're in the live stream. Fantasy Chef. For a second, I thought that was Chief. Fantasy Chef. I like it. He's cooking up. He's got his big wooden spoon too. So yeah, we'll sort of take note of these ADPs where we're going to see David Montgomery go. What's interesting is Damian Harris as well. We're still waiting for a landing spot for him. He could find his way to Cincinnati very easily. And that would be a killer spot for him, especially at his ADP. Let's go. Ches, 23% penny, so my bags are packed. You might need to buy yourself a penny jersey at this point. Honestly, the talent is there. The skill level is there. We've been drafting him on teams that really needed that upside at running back. So they've been hero running back builds, which is arguably the best time to have him. So I'm also excited about Penny. I'm more on Gainwell. Interesting. Yeah, I know. I actually agree with you. Because of the injury risk, now I'll start to select a little bit of Gainwell. Like he fell 10 picks yesterday and we scooped him. I 100% agree. Not a huge Gainwell guy, but the injury risk, obviously, with Penny's there. If Mostert can stay healthy, though, anyone can. And you have Mostert actually and Jeff Wilson both signing 2-year deals. So we'll see. I expect him to bring in a rookie running back still. And that could be a very bad landing spot for them, at least for the first year. Chaz getting CMC at the 4 spot's always nice. You don't see that very often. Bijan at 9. Yes. Let them fall. Give us Adams here. Or I can just do any combination of these 4, to be honest. Any combination of these 4. I don't think Jimmy G is really a huge downgrade from Derek Carr for Devontae Adams. Where we have been fading Devontae Adams as well, small fade, because we've been picking A.J. Brown this whole time in front of him. Now we're getting Devontae Adams at 12. It's like not a super major difference, but it is going to allow us to scoop a little bit of value and get a little different here. This isn't a very common start. Seen it before, but it's not super common. Yeah. Picking Penny in the 180s, 190s was a no-brainer. Yeah, 5.7 yards per carry, 100%. 100%. Yeah. TB Bucks at around 8% Penny. You'll still grab them from time to time. Just going to depend on the squad and where you can get them. But his AP, it's going to be probably in this, man, in this range very soon. So already going at 159. It's going to be tough because you're dealing with what percent of teams that have him at 185-ish, talking 60, 64%, 65%. Hey, let's go. Fantasy Dysfunctional made this draft again. Remind us what your underdog tag is. It's too cool, rad. That's what it is. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson start. I like that. So we got 3-pounders in the draft. Don't know why the internet is dog ass right now, but I guess I'll figure that out tonight. We're going to pop on again tonight at 7 p.m. I'm trying to get one of you guys or anyone else in the community to join us on one of these live streams. I think that would be fun if anyone has a mic or or. a recorder. We can get it going. So we're picking at 36, 37. Do a little scroll action here. Okay. Tony Pollard. I think you have to give him a small bump above Ramondre until we find out what Dallas is going to do. They very easily could draft a rookie running back like Bijan or like Charbonnet, like TB Buck said, and then next year just release Tony Pollard, where he is signed right now for. They gave him. He's not signed. They gave him the tag. So if they don't want to spend at the running back position, which has proven not to been a good strategy for teams, NFL teams. Look at this, piss and yellow. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get young in the draft. I think that's the best way they should go as a franchise. That's what you sort of have to think. Like, we're always thinking fantasy football. What's best for fantasy football? And we always want to see that outcome. But what's best for the team as well? Like, they franchise tag Tony Pollard. Does that mean they're going to release Schultz? He wants big money. So, once I get my office set up, Pat, let's do it. Moving rooms around. Awesome. That's so cool. Super neat, man. We'll definitely get it done. See Kenneth Walker go at 26 to TB Bucks. I love that you're getting these QBs on the back end now pretty religiously. So if you've waited to draft these 3 QBs and you've been scooping these guys up all along, now we can make that small adjustment. And again, it's value. They're small plays, but they add up, especially if you're ahead of everyone else. If you can identify where the value pockets are and where their ADPs should be and draft around them, don't rush all 150 drafts and then adjust along the way. That's where you can get different, and in these tournaments, you wanna get different in those different spots. Look at that running back, though. Oh, yeah, definitely. Coming back from the ankle injury, 100%. But would they use the franchise tag on Pollard if the word was bad from the doctor, right? Like, if he was gonna miss a significant portion of the season, don't you think they would just put the franchise tag on Dalton Schultz? That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Fields goes at 33. I think that's a really good spot for him. Honestly, you can move Fields up in front of some of these running backs. Olave went at 16. I'm just seeing this. Olave went at 16. This is weird. This is weird. And I'll go over why. We're not going Joe Burr here. Yeah, I like this. I like this. So let's go over why this is just odd. Bijan at 9 sometimes falls to 16, 17. I've seen him at 18. But let's say Bijan you can typically get at 14, right? That's his ADP, 13.5. Chris Olave goes in this range. And Justin Fields has fallen to like 50s before. So I think this team is literally going to come out like buns. Joe Bun. We'll see how it looks at the end. We see D-Hop go after my Ridley pick. We're expecting Joe Bun to bring in DJ Moore here at pick 40. I mean, that had to have been his plan all along, right? Like, if he doesn't do it. Okay. Alright. He did it. At least he did that. Lamar goes at 41, and we can find Lamar making his way to the 3rd round eventually. It's gonna happen. They get one more piece in this offense. I know there's not a lot in free agency, so it's gonna have to come from the draft, and they typically don't draft receivers, so we'll just sorta see. But even with the rushing upside, we're gonna see Fields go all the way down to this 2-3 turn. It's just a matter of time. And this is more for the 18 round drafts as well. Like, this tournament is 66% full, so 2/3. Once that next tournament opens up and it's after the NFL draft, these ADPs will pick up from this point, but we still have to adjust from 20 rounds to 18 rounds. And that means moving these quarterbacks back into this range, moving Fields down, moving Lamar into the 3rd round. Joe Burrow should be going, honestly, after Lamar, and you see that happening here. TB Bucks doesn't pick up because he already has Jalen Hurts, but if you can get Joe Burrow at 50, that'd be super, super interesting. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, he brings in Burrow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, so different because, again, these QBs now are going a little later, the elite 3, so you're getting him at 23 and then Burrow to fall at 50. That's a friggin' awesome, awesome start. God damn. I'm jealous. I am jealous. Of course, we're over here at the 12 spot just hoping we get a little bit of value falling to us, which we did with Devontae Adams, so we can't complain. That's a freaking awesome start. Don't blow it. Fantasy Chef does not have any receivers. Let's see if he picks up his first. Drafting Bijan would be such a Jerry move. Hey, you need someone for jersey sales, all right? Who's gonna pick up after Zeke? We need those jersey sales. Shit. It would be a Jerry move. You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. You see Gibbs go here at 55 to the Swift team, so it makes sense. It makes sense. He came in smaller than expected into the combine, which is never a good thing. I think obviously he wants to run as fast of a 40 as possible. The way you do that is get a little lighter, but it's not good for his 3 down role. Like, he's not gonna be a 3 down guy. And when this is half point PPR, it's gonna be valued a little less. And then Swift getting David Montgomery coming in and you're reaching on him at 42, I think we have to be moving DeAndre Swift behind Aaron Jones. David Montgomery can play on all 3 downs, where Jamal Williams was more of the just goal line guy. Alright, so we're picking back to back here. We can go Trevor Lawrence in this spot. We have Ridley. I don't have a lot of Lawrence. I think it's super ugly, but it's so easy to get boxed out in this 12 spot of QBs. So we'll go Lawrence here. A lot of people hating on 30-year-old Tyler Lockett, but he hasn't shown signs of slowing down. He has, what, 4 or 5 years in a row of over 1,000 receiving yards? Let's bring in Tyler Lockett here. I hate Trevor Lawrence at this ADP. What's the exposure? But you still need 3-4% of those players that you're not high on, because Trevor Lawrence can have a 30-point week. So that's perfect. We have 4% Trevor Lawrence. Put that there. Tyler Lockett's going off the board as what, wide receiver 32? And he finished as wide receiver, like, 13 last year. Yeah, he finished as wide receiver 13 in 16 games. Sean Watson goes to the Lamar Jackson team. Interesting start, interesting start. See, the Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, I think you need to stack them. So I would like to see what dysfunctional does here. Fancy dysfunctional in the chat does to, pair Justin Herbert. We're up in 16 picks. That is 84 and 85. So if we look ahead a little bit, man, is anyone on this Kadarius Toney ADP? And if you're seeing this afterwards, let me know in the chat. Are you on Kadarius Toney at 81 with or without Mahomes? Like, he's that guy that can spike without Mahomes. He can, you know, do a jet sweep for a touchdown. So he has 2 touchdown potential. But shit, 81, he's not gonna be that guy that commands 24, 22% of the target share, and he has the injury risk. It just seems off. Yeah, no Tony for me. Hey, my man, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate having you. We'll have to get you in some of these live drafts. Yeah, my Tony exposure, I think I have 1 out of 100. Dude, I have 0. I have 0. Strong stances, win dances. Let's go. Deontay Johnson, that's perfect for this build. Nice floor guy, and you expect him to get in the end zone more than 0 times this year? He's a target hog, so if he can even just get 3, 4 touchdowns this year, this ADP is awesome for him. Now I still like him more in cash game play than I will tournaments, but as your 3rd receiver, I think that's the perfect pick. Dotson off the board at 75, I like that before Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis I'm not high on Gabe Davis at all. I think he's easily replaceable, but it makes sense for this squad where you need someone to spike in order to get in front of these guys. I just think there's a risk that he's drafted out of his position. He had it made last year. He had it made where he was the clear wide receiver 2 on the team, and he didn't do much with it. Let's see, is anyone doing anything crazy besides this team? This team's going nuts. Joe Bunn has brought it back. I think this is fine. He went and got his guys. I don't hate the players. The ADPs aren't the best, but he went and got his guys. Joe Burrow goes at 80. That's early. Joe Mixon, excuse me. I'm fading Mixon. Gotta find out a little more information with with those gunshots. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Went Davis there because I already have CMC, Breeze, plus a strong wide receiver core, exactly. You need someone that could spike in. We get Evan Ingram to fall to us for a little double stack of Ruski. You gotta love that. We could it's like one of these guys after Ingram. What do we wanna do? We're picking at 108, 109. So I'm comfortable with the wide receivers in this range. Hmm. Let's bring in Tyler Algier. Super balanced build. We'll stack up receivers on the next 2 rounds. I just like that range better. I I want running backs in this range. I think this is a super good range to be drafting running backs. Like, I could have started 4 wide receivers and then gone 2 running backs here, and I'd be super happy. I'd be super happy. Gonna have to try that more. We have 50 drafts left. Yeah, they ran the ball the second most in the league. Same offensive coordinator coming back. Can sort of expect the same thing this year. Now under Ritter, they will throw a little bit more, but still, they average, I think, 24 pass attempts under Ritter. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Waller goes at 94. I think it'd be interesting if he went Danny Dimes here, get that pairing. We'll see if he does that. Zay Flowers at 95. Love it. Damn. Love this squad. Dallas Goedert with the Jalen Hurts. This guy should go Danny Dimes right now. Yeah, yeah. Big brain plays. Everyone's making big brain plays. And these drafts are sharper right now. Like, when we get into the middle of the season, middle of the summer, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of new people that don't know how to correlate. The rooms are gonna be much softer, and in return, the advance rate should be higher. Chesley brings in his first QB with Trey Lance, someone that you really don't have to pair with anyone, but he does have CMC, which is neat. Such a mixed bag for Trey Lance. Just has so many different outcomes for this year. So he's not someone that you really wanna fade, but he could burn you again if you're super heavy on him. Right now, we're sitting with 5% Trey Lance, so probably will get a couple more shares in these next 50 drafts. Baker Mayfield, pick 101. Oh my god. What does this guy know? This has to be Baker's cousin or something. That that just happened. Oh my god. What? Damn, damn. 130 picks before ADP. Alright, that's a new record. That's a new record. Oh, holy smokes. Has this guy been doing this the whole time? No. This had to be. This had to be like an auto pick mistake or something. Oh my god. All right. I honestly, I'm completely thrown off right now. What are we going? I like DPJ in this range. I think Jamal Williams is an interesting, risk/reward pick right now. I think Mooney has to fall a little bit. Elijah Moore probably not staying in New York. They just signed Lazard to what, 4 years, 44,000,000. Rodgers is trying to also get Cobb signed. So, like, where does he go? Plenty of teams need receivers. Maybe Carolina becomes the number 1 receiver over there. Let's take our risk. I have so much DPJ. He's my 3rd most drafted receiver, 30%. So we'll do a little fade here. I like AJ Dillon in this range. It's so hard to not draft DPJ. It, like, pains me. It absolutely pains me. He's one of my guys. He's just sitting there staring at you. It's tough. It's tough for me, but he's coming off the board around wide receiver 52. He played 11 of his games last year with Jacoby Brissett and finished wide receiver 40. Now he gets a full season under Deshaun Watson, like, that's why I have 30% DPJ. He had more 20-yard gains than DK Metcalf. Wild. Wild. But guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. Helps the channel tremendously. If you like best ball content, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so we can get you in some of these live drafts. Also comes with our free draft guide. Just hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at Fancy Dog Pound. Ches, did you get a chance to read the draft guide yet? Have you looked it over? I sent it this morning. See Goff go off the board at 115, Zay Jones at 116. This team has 3 receivers through like 100 rounds, so most likely paying the rake. I think this team's paying the rake as well. These Nooner drafts might be plus EV. What do we think, boys? Ches says, yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. 11 pages of player write-ups. We are going to update it. It's about 2 weeks old at this point. Planning on updating it after the NFL draft. We're constantly talking about the ADP changes as well in these streams. So if you're in the streams, you know what's up. You know who's changing. Wandale Robinson, I think this ADP, it's a good spot for him, but with the ACL tear, we don't really know, right? So it is risky. If he can be somewhat healthy for week 15, 16, 17, it's absolutely worth it. And he's expected to be ready for week 1. Again, it's so early in the offseason, it's hard to trust. Rashad Penny goes at pick 120. I can't pay that. After he goes at 190 for 65% of the league fill. No, I can't. It's too much. It's too much. Especially they're re-signing Boston Scott. They have Kenneth Gainwell. It's still gonna be a 3-headed backfield, and Penny doesn't catch balls. So, I get the O-line's super strong. It's a high-powered offense. I like Penny, but damn, with all those things combined, I think that means we're fading. We can bring in Geno here, which I don't think is a bad pick. 12 picks after ADP. We have Tyler Lockett. Gino, welcome to the pound. We pick at 156. Okay, I like that range. I like that range. So we can go tight. We can go tight end here. I think one of these two guys works. We don't have a lot of Greg Dulcich. We have a ton of Chiggy. Get Chiggy with it. My Dulcich shares are super low. Oh crap! That's the third time I've drafted him. So we're at 3% Dulcich now. So I don't mind getting a little more of Dulcich. He just goes like in a range where I'd rather just select 3 of any of these 3 minus Bellinger, now that we have the Waller news. Cream Hunt at 134, not not selecting Cream Hunt here. Give me Devon A-Chain over Hunt, and he's someone that we were drafting in the 160s, 165 early in the offseason. Let's see. Towns goes at 135. Let's see how Fantasy Dysfunctional is doing. Goes as Too Cool Red on Underdog. Justin Herbert at QB. No tight ends yet. At running back, he's Tony Pollard, Zach Charbonnet, Jamal Williams, Elijah Mitchell. Loves that group. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Marquise Brown, Quentin Johnston, Juju, Josh Townsend. Love the wide receivers. Strong at QB right now. Sick. Sick squad. Chesley has Trey Lance at QB, Dawson Knox at tight end, CMC, Brees Hall, Rashad White, Miles Sanders at running back, super strong. Wide receivers Devonta Smith, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, Treylon Burks, Gabe Davis, super strong at receiver as well. TB Bucks with Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow falling to 50. Running back Kenneth Walker, James Conner, Dallas Goedert, and Pratt Freiermuth at tight end. Wondering if you're going to stop at 2 there. Seems like you could, depending on who falls. At wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Zay Flowers, KJ Osborne. Nice. Nice. Solid teams for the Pounders. Solid teams for the Pounders. Too Cool Rad says, not my best draft today. How many have you done? You sicko. You absolute sicko. Some of these running backs, you don't have a choice but to follow them up the board or your room is going to be bare AF. Yeah. Some of them you have to chase. Depends on, look how dry it is actually at running back right now. People are reaching up. And that means we're just going to scoop some wide receiver value, which is perfect for us. We got our guys at ADP. Rashid Shaheed off the board. Pirine to Denver seems like a really good spot, especially they released Chase Edmonds, right? So playing behind Javonte Williams again. When he was in Cincy, he was a handcuff. Now he goes to Denver. He's a handcuff to someone that tore their ACL. Seems like a really good spot for Pirine. Kenny Pickett off the board. Hunter Renfrow, he has to fall. He has to fall. 10, 20, 30, 40, 40 picks. Well, you can get it 230. We just saw them bring in Myers. Hunter Renfrow doesn't have a high ceiling anyways. So I don't know. I think it's a brutal ADP. Look at these QBs fall. Tajay Spears. Okay. Wow. Wow. Didn't expect this. Didn't expect this. We're definitely bringing in Alec Pierce. Definitely bringing in Alec Pierce. Do we want any of these QBs? Not really. Not really. I say we just bring in Samaje Perine here, kind of shore up our running back room. Should have a role no matter what, as well as being the handcuff to Javonte Williams. Ben says almost missed the whole show. Well, if we get enough likes on this video, we're gonna run it back with the second draft. Let's set it at 12 likes on the video. We're shooting high. We'll run it back with the second one. Try to get as many of you guys in there on that one as well. Ben comes in here with this friggin' huge wrench, just swinging it around in the chat. Do AR for the bit. I almost took Pierce on you. Yeah, you must have known. You must have known. Ben says, well, Cowboys are dropping Zeke. Just woke up to the big news. Yeah. Not too surprising. I think they're gonna save around 5 million in cap space, but the year after they were gonna save like 9, 10. They're gonna save big bucks. So Tony Pollard gets a boost, but they also might be trying to draft the heir to Zeke with Bijan. Or the other potential is maybe they're saving that money for Tony Pollard next year to re-sign him to a long-term contract. So there's always that. Tyquan Thornton, I mean, we were gonna try to get him on the way back around at 180, a few picks after ADP. We should have known better. We should have known better. TB Bucks scoops him. Now with Myers out of town officially, goddamn, this ADP is just so wrong. You gotta understand, like, this wide receiver room has Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, and Tyquan Thornton. He doesn't have a lot of competition. Bill Belichick hates Kendrick Bourne. He hates him. Sean Johnson off the board. Seeing potential landing spots for Mike Gesicki in Cincinnati as well. After Hurst signed somewhere today, right? Hurst signed in Carolina. Now, I don't think that's really a good spot for him. I mean, do we think Carolina's better for Hurst than Cincinnati? So it's hard to see much upside there with Hurst. That being said, maybe we'll throw Hurst in with some of the Stroud lineups. Jordan Love goes at 173. A common faller right now, but now that we know Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets, I think this ADP should at least hold. At least hold. Never going 3 QBs when we go Patty Mahomes in the second round. And probably never going Joe Burrow 130 picks before ADP. That's another tip. The truth. Ooh, Tim Patrick. We want him to fall to us. I honestly think that Sutton or Jerry Jeudy's gonna be moved from Denver. And when that happens, we've been talking about it. We have 17% Tim Patrick, so we're ready for it. If that happens, Tim Patrick's gonna move to the 140s, 150s range, just like last year. He moved up all the way to 140s, 150s. I think he got 132-ish and then he tore his ACL. When we got that news that Tim Patrick had torn his ACL in practice, we had 24% Tim Patrick in, like, 350 drafts. We then drafted 200 more teams to bring our ownership down to 16%. That is 2 out of every 6 teams, right? No, that's 1/3. 1 of every 6 teams, there it is, big math guy, had Tim Patrick on it last year, and we were still profitable. We need wide receivers here. Terrace Marshall, until we get further news, is the wide receiver 1 on Carolina. I think they bring in someone like DJ Chark doo doo doo, but we have to pick him here. So we have Adam, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Elijah Moore, Alec Pierce, Terrace Marshall. So far, so good. So far, so good. Damn. Ben says he gets into a draft last night at 2 AM. They let you take Monty in the 11th round. I'm telling you, those overnight drafts plus EV, plus EV. Pounders and 2 AM drafts are a thing. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of sharks. I won't even let you guys know I'm jumping in drafts. I'm always seeing a couple of you guys. There's a video idea, Pat. Let's do a stream at 2 AM. I'll do it. I will do it. Yeah, I think Jordan Love is a great value. I agree. The fact that he's falling in drafts just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, especially now that we know Rodgers is he's going to New York. Come on, he's getting Alan Lazard a 4-year deal. They're trying to deal for Randall Cobb now. Good practicing being up with a baby. Yeah, 2 weeks away, but I do work night shift, so I am fully messed up already on my sleep schedules. My sleep schedules are non-existent. I've been tested. I tell my buddies at work all the time, like, "Yeah, I got a dog." Like, "Baby? Super easy. No worries. I got a dog." My dog can't even talk. It needs something. I have to decipher what it needs just through barks. We're good. Art the Fat Man, welcome to the live stream. He says, "Guys, if we all get into a 2 AM draft, it will still not be EV." Yes, because we'll all be in the room. Of course. Of course. Chesley brings in Tyler Higbee here. DJ Chark with CJ Stroud. I love that. I mean, it just seems like such a good landing spot in Carolina. Absolutely love that. Everyone's in midseason form right now drafting. You guys are a bunch of freaks. I love it. Sleep is overrated, and for the dead anyways, keep drafting. Put that on my tombstone. Does anyone think Baker Mayfield's gonna do well in Tampa Bay? We just saw Tom Brady crumble to pieces. This might be the year that Baker Mayfield retires. Ben says, "I'm surprised Love is down at the Mac Jones, Sam Howell era." Yeah, it's not good. Scoop it. Scoop the value. Grab the wooden spoon, just start digging in. Start digging in. Don't ask me why I have a spoon down here. Kendrick Miller goes at 195. I like that. I have him ranked 4th. 4th favorite rookie going into this year at the running back position, of course. Elims, welcome to the live stream, my man. We tricked everyone. We came on at noon. Well, Nooner's draft. Was that AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb draft you posted on Twitter your favorite draft of the year so far? I'll have to peek it. If you can at me, if you have it up. Hit me up on Twitter if you have one, at Fantasy Dog Pound, or Instagram. All I need is your email, and I'm not gonna send you any spam. It's just a PDF. I think we have 26 people on that draft guide so far, and we appreciate the sub, my man. We appreciate you. Van Jeffy goes off the board at 198. Cedric Tillman, I like a lot. Marvin Mims. These are good rookies. Our running back room's looking mediocre, but you have to be weak somewhere. That's why these mid-round QB drafts, I just hate. I really do. I don't like the way my teams look. Guys, we're 3 likes away from popping into another draft. Drop the like. We got a couple rounds left to get you there. Jordan Poyer expected to re-sign with the Bills, safety. I guess this is a good spot to go Zach Evans. If we needed a tight end, we'd go Kincaid here. Again, early Evan Ingram, early QB. I just hate the way it looks. Now we got the double stack, which looks pretty, but the team as a whole, in my opinion, seems weak. But let's try to get some upside here at the end. I like Chase Brown at running back. I like Rashee Rice. We have a ton of Chase Brown. Let's switch it up. I believe we're done at wide receiver now, and our last 2 picks are going to be running backs. So it'll be a 2-7-8-3 build. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Balance. Balance in the squad. Yeah, yeah. Comes with a caveat. TB Buck says you also have to like the video. 2 likes away, and we'll get into another draft. Duvernay at 209. I'm completely off Duvernay. We saw what happened when Rashad Bateman went down. Duvernay had the chance to be the wide receiver 1. Even Andrews missed a few games and wasn't healthy when he came back with that shoulder injury. Duvernay was the number 1 receiver on the team for a little while, and other than, like, returning some punts and 1 touchdown that I remember, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. He can't run routes. It was very evident. Jerome Ford at 211. Richie James at 212. Like, I would rather Richie James here than Hunter Renfrow at his ADP, and, of course, like I've said before, I would rather Gage over both those players at Gage's ADP, going even later than both of them. Oh, you guys got us over the threshold. We are gonna get into another one. You bunch of sickos. Who are some late round sleeps? Stick around, and you'll see. Um, we have pounders in the draft right now, so I just can't go ahead and say all of them, but as they're selected, I'm more than happy to point them out. Cedric Tillman, Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims ran one of the fastest 40 times at the combine. 4.38 40. Pat, how do I feel about Pierre Strong? Dude, I wanna believe, right? But for this squad, like, I'm not drafting my handcuff on this team because I already have Ramondre. I just don't know why they didn't get him involved last year. You had Damian Harris go down, it was the perfect time to start incorporating Pierre Strong into the game plan, and they just didn't, right? So, I'm still gonna have a good amount of Pierre Strong just because, look, he's going at pick 208. I'm actually gonna check my exposure right now. Yeah, we have 14% Pierre Strong. It's just it's the Pats. You don't know what they're gonna do at running back. Now, if Damian Harris moves on, you have to think they'll get him more involved, but we just have to wait and see. I think it's worth the risk at pick 210. You're not really risking much. In worst case, he's a handcuff. I'd say he's definitely worth it. So we can't go QB here. We can't I mean, I guess we could go QB. Let's see who falls to us. We can't go wide receiver, that's for sure. We can't go tight end, that's for sure. Conklin off the board. I like that pick. I like that pick. Interesting. Wow. I mean, I'm never going Mac Jones without the pass catchers. So if I had Tyquan Thornton, maybe I'd go Mac Jones here or a Hunter Henry. I don't love it. I don't love it. I really don't. Dwayne McBride, Joshua Kelly, I think we have to I was completely off him, but now that we have the news that Eckler does wanna seek trade options, it could be just to drive up his price in LA, and honestly, I think that's what he's doing. But until we know for sure, Joshua Kelly at this ADP, he could be a huge riser, so I think you just have to lock it in. I don't love it because I think Eckler is going to return. Let's go Dwayne McBride here. My favorite sleepers right here, Bryce Ford Wheaton. Where's he going? He went at pick 221 to Fantasy Chief. One of my favorite sleeps at the wide receiver position. He had a freakish combine. He's 6'4", 220, and he ran a 4.38 40. Give me a lot of that. I just got him in Dynasty as well. My first Dynasty auction best ball draft. We got guys in ETR in it and super competitive. Should be fun. I'll post that team when it's done. We're in the middle of it's probably gonna be like another 2 weeks. I'm gonna be in the hospital going to the freaking restroom, hiding out. We are doing another one, Lee. We are hopping in another one for the people. Let's go. Let's go. Devontae Parker, pick 230. I don't hate it. I really don't. There are worse picks. Now, his age, he's 30. He's gonna be turning no, he just turned 30 in January. So he's guaranteed a role where we're taking shots on these rookies, and yeah, maybe we hit, maybe we don't. A lot of people are gonna miss in this 20th round. So Devontae Parker actually isn't a bad pick. Appreciate you guys subbing. 2 new subbies on the stream. We appreciate you guys. Ryan Tannehill in the 20th round's friggin' awesome. It really is. To go with Justin Herbert and Anthony Richardson, I love it. 2020 and 2021, if you go back and look at that game log, for both of those years. He had similar rushing attempts, similar rushing yards, like within 10, and then 7 rushing touchdowns in both games. Obviously, he gets hurt last year, but again, he does have that rushing upside where you don't necessarily need to pair him with the receivers. He might be a Titan next year, he might not as well. So he has some unknown. But in the 20th round, like, come on. Mac Jones doesn't even get drafted. Oh my god. He's gotta. Yeah, I was gonna say 20th round Mac Jones. I mean, you obviously didn't need him. 53 picks after ADP. Yo, stop. Stop. I don't think I've ever seen that. 53 picks. Like, I know the Pats, the offense is not pretty. It's not. But you gotta have some hope with Bill O'Brien. What if they bring in, like, a Zay Flowers in the draft? Alright, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. I'm gonna love this draft by TB Bucks. I mean, he got Jalen Hurts 3 picks after ADP. He gets Burrow in the 5th round to pair it with Chase. Got Goddard to go with Jalen Hurts. Just move him along. Just put him in the top 3. Just put him in the top 3. Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Zay Flowers, KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, Robert Woods, Russell Gage. Perfect. Literally just beautiful. Running back, Kenneth Walker, James Conner, Donta Foreman, Sean Tucker, Rashawn Johnson, Devin Singletary, Chuba Hubbard, Pat Freiermuth at tight end. Only went 2. I think you only needed 2 with those. I like that combo. Let's go this way. I think it's easier to see. Chesed Trey Lance, Kyler, CJ Stroud, Dawson Knox, Tyler Higbee, Hayden Hurst. I'm fine with that. QB room's good. Got some rushing upside with Trey Lance and Kyler towards the end of the season. 13 picks after ADP. Look at this after ADP. God damn. Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Rashad White, Miles Sanders, 24 picks after ADP. You scooped value in this draft. My God. Jerick McKinnon and Pierre Strong just scooping value here. Every single pick after ADP. Ches is now nicknamed the Ice Cream Man. Wide receivers, Devonta Smith, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, Treylon Burks, Gabe Davis, Ronald Moore, DJ Shark, Laviska Shenault. I actually like this a lot. Not going in every single draft, so I think that's super interesting to pair CJ Stroud. I like where your head's at there. Too Cool Red, Justin Herbert, Anthony Richardson, Ryan Tannehill, basically for free. Everyone scooped value in this. My God. Tight end, Gerald Everett, Darnell Washington, Tyler Conklin. I think these 3 are fine, especially paired Everett with Herbert. Running back, you have Pollard, Zach Charbonnet, Jamal Williams, Elijah Mitchell, Tajay Spears, Jeff Wilson, Chase Brown. I like this running back group. I like it a lot. You have your vets. You have you have plenty of touches in here. You have upside rookies as well. Handcuffed to CMC. Solid. Wide receivers, A. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Marquise Brown, Quentin Johnston, Juju, and Josh Downs. So 3-7-7-3 build. I think it's nice. I think it's very nice. Now we'll just skip over ours real quick. Trevor Lawrence and Geno Smith. I'm not going to be happy with this one. Just letting you guys know. Evan Ingram, Greg Dulcich, Trey McBride, running back Stevenson, Tyler Algier, AJ Dillon, Samaje Perine, Zach Evans, Joshua Kelly, Dwayne McBride, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Lockett, Elijah Moore, Alec Pierce, Harris Marshall, Rashee Rice. Man, I just don't like going these mid-round QBs, even though I've only done it 3 times. Evan Ingram, 12 spot, that was rough. So I am happy to run this one back because we have to make up for that draft. I just paid the rake. I can admit it, though. So let's jump in. I'm going to have a little countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going live. Waiting on 9 people. An absolute Pounders fiesta incoming. You got to reach to get your guys in this one. You are going to have to reach to get your guys in this one. Oh my god. Feel like you guys are messing with me, just daring to take a 3rd QB. Yeah, 53 picks after ADP for Mac Jones. You already had Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts. I doubt that Mac Jones gets you any points, but going back to last year, week 17, Jalen Hurts didn't play, so you never know. Milan, welcome to the live stream. Did you cover the team with the 111? What did you think of that one? I can hop back over. How many do we have? Waiting on one person. We got time. Were you in the 111, Milan? So let's start with the QBs. Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Matty Stafford at tight end. You had Kittle, Fant, and Bellinger. I think those 3 are fine, but I'm not drafting Bellinger right now with the Darren Waller news. He's now a handcuff. I would rather Hunter Henry, 100%, especially they got rid of Jacoby Myers. So you got to give him a small boost right now. I do like the Devontae Parker pick. Let's go with running backs, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor. So double anchor running back build with Dalvin Cook, Javonte Williams, Kareem Hunt. Yeah, that's perfect. Actually glad you stopped there with Kareem Hunt. Debo, DeAndre Hopkins, Jordan Addison, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, Michael Gallup, MVS, Nico Collins, Devontae Parker. So I think the wide receiver room's a little weak. When you start these 2 running backs, it's tough to go QB. It's tough to go tight end in this middle round as well. Typically don't like the wide receiver room when it comes out. Maybe this could have been a wide receiver because you're depending heavily on these 2 guys. It's not bad, though. It's not bad. Just different thoughts. Oh my god. Pounder after pounder after pounder. Did we get all 12? Holy smokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. 7, I believe, if Hamlin Motorsports is in the chat. Artie making 8. MGL again at the 11 spot, and we must have done something wrong. We're gonna have to go to church or something because we get stuck with 12 again. My god. My god. We got you, Milan. We got you in there. Yeah, I'm gonna always tell it like it is, but that's how you improve. If I said everyone's lineup's good, then I suck, and I'm not doing my job. Short gamer TV, typical start, typical start. Tyreek Hill before Kelsey and Cup. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. You have some questions surrounding Cooper Kupp and Staffy right now, another year older. Although Tyreek Hill is not the youngest guy in the bunch, and there is some QB concerns, right, with Tua. No way. Lee doesn't get in. Lee doesn't get in. Yeah, alright, so TB Bucks to go with a little exposure smooth pick. I have so much Hill. Not a bad thing, in my opinion. Sitting around 11% Hill. Because I'm drafting him over Kelsey. Oh my god. Not gonna be left with any receivers. You guys are a bunch of freaks. Oh, man. Alright. Just daring me to go double RB build, but we will not do that. We are double tapping receiver still. You cannot box me out. Early drafting today, Wobby. Yep, we snuck on at noon. A little daily double dose. Gotta update the sub count. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys subbing. Keep it rolling. Lee says, "I'm at the 1-1, just saying I should have joined the first draft." Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I see you. I see you. Yeah, this is gonna be a sniper draft. That's why I had to go get my 2 receivers, because I know you guys aren't gonna leave me anything. Everyone here has been sent the draft guide. That's the funniest part about it. It's like, you guys everyone in this room knows who I like, but we're gonna have to dip, duck, dive, dodge, and get the guys we want still. Maybe we'll end up with a little different team too, that never hurts. Make some exposure smooth out picks if we have to. We see Saquon go at 18, Bijan at 17. Wonderful value. Wonderful value. I like the Tyreek Hill Olave start. Not surprised these wide receivers are coming off the board fast in this draft. Not surprising at all. Yeah, I I don't blame you. Eckler JT's also been my last 4 drafts. I can't say no. It's at least different. Everyone seems to be afraid of it. I mean, how can you complain with Eckler at 11 and JT at 14? You really can't. It's a nice start. We've done it before, but I know this room, and if you're not getting your guys at wide receiver, it's gonna dry up fast. It's gonna dry up fast. I wonder if Grimmy's in the live chat just hiding. It's like he knows. DK at the 2-3 turn, followed by Kenneth Walker. Finally, a running back off the board. Brees Hall at 26. I don't think I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence again. Where do we pick him at 60? I'm not picking him again unless he falls to this range, and I'm in one of these spots. I did not like the way that came out. I mean, realistically, he should probably be going in this 72, 73 range with the 20-round drafts just being so easy to catch up at QB, like, late. Look at Jimmy G going at 181. Gonna have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs. We have an absolute run of money right here, all green. Tony Pollard goes at 27, huh? Interesting, interesting. It's good. I mean, if the season was starting tomorrow, like, yeah, I'm on board, but we'll see. We'll see if they bring in another running back and who it is. I'm expecting them to at least draft 1 young running back, but it's gonna depend, and we'll find out a lot just based on what happens. Let's start with 4 receivers here. Let's go Coop. Let's go Coop. I have a lot of DJ Moore, and I have him at a better ADP. We have 18% DJ Moore in the 50s in this range because 'cause we're selecting him over Drake London every time. London's one of my favorite fades this year. Still have 4% of them though. Not gonna completely fade people with high upside. So when I say fade, I mean basically under 5%. Now if it was cash, this is just a 12-man league and there's not tournaments where you're facing 75,000 or 112,000 lineups, then I would only have 1 or 2% Drake London just based on who's on the board. But for tournaments, it's not good to just fully fade players with high upside because What if week 17 he has 2 touchdowns for 112 yards on 6 catches? Because you know they're only gonna throw the ball 23 times that game. London is our biggest disagreement. It's alright. It's alright. Hey, that's the thing, like, you're not gonna agree with every single take, but you can listen to different takes and form your own opinions around them. That's what I do all the time. I still follow plenty of people that I don't agree with everything they say. You don't have to, but he's gonna be a fade for me with Kyle Pitts returning in a run-first offense, returning offensive coordinator. I don't know. Now Kyle Pitts doesn't have to do as much to pay out his ADP because he's at that onesie position where Drake London will have to produce more to be worth it where he's going in the draft. They can't have less pass volume than last year, right? Yeah. They'll throw more. They'll throw more, but it's not gonna be a whole lot more. It's not like they're gonna throw the ball 6 times more. It might be 2, it might be 3. It's still a run first team. I have so much Godwin, someone needs to stop. How much Godwin do you have? Because we have been selecting I think we've been going Terry McLaurin over Godwin. I have 4% Godwin, and Terry, it's gonna be scary. 15% Terry. But again, this is the range that DJ Moore was in, and this is why we have 18% DJ Moore. So we're definitely ahead of the field, which, I mean, we get a lucky trade too, right? So but I was expecting a rookie quarterback to go to Carolina. I don't know if I like that better if he had CJ Stroud. What do you guys think? Would you rather CJ Stroud as DJ Moore's QB, or would you rather Justin Fields? Ben says, "I'd argue people need Pitts to be more consistent with him being in 2 tight end builds, and London just needs 4 or 5 spikes." Yeah, I mean, when we get to 18 round drafts, I'll be a little higher on some of these tight ends that go in these middle rounds because I strongly believe you can do a Goddard and Pat Freiermuth and still just be good with 2. But in the 20 round drafts, I just think there's an advantage to getting to round 20 with 3 tight ends. Now, it's tougher because your teams are usually going to score less points. The more people you have at the onesie position, QB and tight end. But with 20 rounds, like, there's value down here with Hunter Henry, Jelani Woods, Conklin, even Ferguson, these rookies, Laporta, Musgrave. All right. No, we're not going Trevor Lawrence. Get out of here. Get out of here. We are, however, going to go Aaron Jones. I have, like, 0 Dalvin Cook. I think it's a good time to pick up some Cook here. Who knows how much he has left in the tank, but I have a 1% Dalvin Cook, and I don't know if I should be completely fading him. This seems like a good spot. I also wanna bring in some late round rookies, and it helps to get some veterans that have roles. That being said, we don't know where Dalvin's gonna end up. Chez says he would rather Stroud instead of Justin Fields for DJ Moore. I think you're right. Damn, 30% Godwin with the clown emoji. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, you got Baker Mayfield throwing him the ball. How could this go wrong? How could this go wrong? Swift goes at 67. I like that ADP for him, even though they're bringing in David Montgomery. I think that's about where you should be going. Now, I think Gibbs is going a little too soon here. I'm not gonna have a lot of Gibbs going into the year. Yep. I was I was thinking this as well. Evans gets traded. He'll eat as the main target hog on the team, losing every game, playing from behind. Not always a bad script. Hey, Art says I'm using this draft as an opportunity to take people I usually don't take. Why low on Gibbs? He came into the combine a little smaller than expected. So I don't expect him to be able to have that 3 down role that we're looking for. Now he can end up in a role sort of like Swift, but again, we don't know what team he's gonna be drafted on, so you're assuming all the risk with it, and I don't think, like, if he is landing in a smash spot, where do you rank him amongst RBs? Do you put him ahead of Swift, Dalvin Cook, and Aaron Jones? Yeah, maybe, but that's if he lands in that smash spot and they use him correctly. Like, are you gonna put him in front of Najee? I just think his ceiling is capped where he's at, basically, if that makes sense. Watch, he'll end up on KC, and he'll be going in the 3rd round. Uh, sometimes that's how it goes. Rashad Bateman with Mark Andrews. Getting a little correlation there with Baltimore. Ooh. Vapor is going down with the ship. TB Bucks is driving. He's the captain. He says, "You're not alone. I have 28% Godwin hoping for a trade." All right. Underdog NFL. Aaron Rodgers says he intends to play for the Jets. No shit. Breaking news. He intends to play for the Jets. Does that mean they can't get a deal done? Imagine that. He just absolutely cucks them after he forces the Jets to sign Allen Lazard for 4 years, forces them to sign Randall Cobb. He's just like, "Yeah, nah, I'm all set. I just need to get my boys paid." Oh, shit. Eric Bese says Gibbs is overdrafted. Him and A-Chain should be going closer together. He weighs 10 pounds more than A-Chain. Right. And A-Chain's going around 130. Yeah. Green Bay's fighting for trade compensation. Let's see what MGL does. MGL is in the chat. So we'll pause. We'll pause for a sec, see what he wants to do. Perfect. Perfect. I think we're just gonna double tap here. Not going Dak. We don't have Pollard. We don't have Lamb. Not going Ingram here. Let's bring in Quentin Johnston. I like Algier over White right now. It's just gonna be tough. Tampa Bay, if they are playing from behind with Baker Mayfield, it might ruin Rachaad White's opportunities. I'll have to get some advanced stats on Baker Mayfield's check down rate to running backs because that'll affect Rachaad White's value. I'm typically an ADP merchant. Absolutely. I'm on board with that. Yeah. It's still a way to get different. If you're getting your guys, especially at an ADP, or if you know where their ADP started and you're getting them at a value now, I think that's interesting as well. We are just full of wide receivers and running backs right now. Hard to pass up. Hard to pass up on some of these guys. but this is an exposure smooth out pick. I think Amari Cooper might be an exposure smooth out pick for me too. I think he's just going a little soon. Yeah, I have 2%, so now I'll go to 3%. Thrilled with my 31% penny. That's all you need. That's all you need is for him to stay healthy. God damn. I mean, it was such an obvious pick, right? It was such an obvious pick going in, like, 180s. I also think Mostert and Jeff Wilson aren't bad picks too. Like, if you go 0 RB build and you need touches, and honestly, I'm probably just going the guy that goes later in this backfield. Hasn't Anthony Richardson's ADP gone up like 70 spots? Yeah, you used to be able to get him for free in the 20th round, and I drafted him all the way down to 17, and then we stopped. But we have 5 squads with him in the 20th round, and we ended up with, I think, 11, and now he's going, what, in the 14th? It's like, now I just have to bet on that he busts. Just because whatever percent of the field is like 40% plus is gonna have him in the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th round. Super value squads if he does hits. See where he ends up. If he ends up in, like, Indy, it's a really good spot for him. Exactly, Levis and Richardson, the 19th and 20th. We were on that as well. 2 guys with rushing upside. What's funny, I looked at Levis's, last year's stats for rushing. Has anyone else noticed he had negative, like, 134 rushing yards? For a rushing quarterback, I think he's supposed to be in the positive. He's moving up to the 12th round. Levis' move is now in the 19th. I just don't think Levis looked really good in, uh, in the combine throwing. Alright. DPJ goes, followed by Mooney. Njoku goes at 102. That's gotta be after ADP, right? Dak goes finally at 103, falling, what, 18 spots? Njoku's directly on ADP. Dak falling like 20 picks. Yeah, that's beautiful value. Shit. I'm snagging some Levis now. Alright. So we're gonna scoop Aaron Rodgers here with Garrett Wilson. Seems like a good spot. We could just bring in Jared Goff as well, I guess. We just double tap QB here because why not? We got the Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's see. Damn, you guys are just crushing it with the subbies right now. Another subby. All right, we're gonna put out another. If we get to 21 likes, we will do another draft. We will do another one. 21 likes on the video. We'll do our third of the day. We gotta update this. My God. Jamal Williams at 115. I think he has to go a little sooner. I think Kenneth Gainwell has to go a little sooner now, or I'm at least willing to pick him at ADP now, whereas before, I was just completely avoiding him. 'Cause they don't really even see him as a change of pace back, like 53 carries, 68 carries, that's not enough to make an impact, but with Rashad Penny's injury history, like, if he gets hurt deep into the season, week 13, now you have Kenneth Gainwell as RB1 for Philly going into the fantasy football playoffs. That's sorta like, the hope of Alexander Mattison having the Cook injury deep into the season. That's the way I see it. That's where the upside lies with that pick. Now in cash games, like last year, Alexander Mattison, I had 1%. It was only when he fell. It's because he didn't have that weekly role. He didn't have that weekly floor. His upside was 3, 4 games when Dalvin Cook gets hurt. And for cash games, that's not good. For tournaments, yeah, you're looking for that upside for week 15, 16, 17. Anything's possible. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Eric. Thank you. You guys keep showing up, so we're gonna keep putting the content out. This is day 23, draft 23 in 24 days. We missed 1 day because we worked 16 hours. If you do another one, I might not go to the gym. Now, I'm not gonna be a bad influence. Why don't you just draft from the gym? Go to the gym. Go to the gym. We're 2 likes did I say 22 likes? We're 1 like away from getting into another draft after this. I mean, you guys are guaranteed to hit that, right? So we'll just plan. I am gonna have to take a piss break. I don't know how these guys do it. They're on stream for 6 hours, 5 hours. Like, they must take piss breaks, right? Or they have, like, a Gatorade bottle underneath the table. Like, I like coffee, so that's my downfall. Like, I need my Covfefe. Alright, we haven't even been looking at the board. Completely distracted from the pounders in the chat. You guys caught me. What do we wanna do here? What do we wanna do here? There's no clear values to me. Wan'Dale Robinson, I just have way too much of, especially with the injury, knee injury. Um, shit. Let's just go Knox with the first one. Might just double tap tight end here. I don't love this range for wide receivers. I This would be sort of a hot take. I could go Odell Beckham. Has anyone heard the rumors of Rodgers wanting Odell Beckham in New York? We're not gonna do that. Sounds fun. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna double tap tight end. We're gonna double tap tight end here. Am I just completely blind? Lazard already was drafted, huh? That's who I was looking for. Lazard went at 180, 122. Elims, we're gonna have a chat, my friend. We are gonna have a chat. TB Buck says, "Don't do it." You are entitled to a piss break. Keep it under 60 seconds. Get the whip out. Get the whip out. Yeah, if Lazard was there, we would have went Lazard, but this range is sort of dog ass. Like Isaiah Hodgins, you have Wan'Dale Robinson, we expect to be healthy for week 15, 16, 17. I mean, pending re-injuring his knee. You have Sterling Shepard. I know these guys are all put together with glue. Darren Waller, just added to the mix. But I think Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, they start to lose their sparkle in these ranges. So Isaiah Hodgins, definitely not high on him. He looked good at the end of the season, but again, everyone was hurt. Darius Slayton was hurt. How do I like the stream twice? You I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. We are 1 like away still from getting into another draft after this. You guys are sick. Eric B says he likes Dobes. We'll see. We'll see. I think they can add help, and if they do add help, either in free agency or the draft, Dubes is probably going a little too soon. It's not egregious. Like, I should honestly have more Dubes than I do. That almost rhymed. More Dubes. More Dubes than I do. A shark doo 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 at 146. Go and get your guys. Hashtag go get your guys. Look at this crew. He went double elite tight end. Josh Allen with Geno Smith. You're, in my opinion, definitely done at QB. How much Dubes do you have, Eric? I just think last year he didn't look polished, and of course it's his rookie season, so maybe he comes in with a little more experience and he's able to make more impact. But again, we're gonna have Jordan Love at QB. I'm just typically going running back in this range where Dubes is, or I'm going Alec Pierce or Rashid Shaheed. So it's a tough sell for me where Dubes is going. Yeah, he's a special player. Like you get the ball in his hands and he can make some plays. But last year is it's tough to judge off last season because Aaron Rodgers was the only one on the right page, and the rookie wide receivers are just messing up left and right. So it's tough to judge. 23% Dubes, 29% Watson. Damn. My boy all in. My boy all in on Green Bay. And how much Jordan Love do you have? Because if you have 23% Dubes and 29% Watson, but you only have 2% Love, you can see where the story will start to break down. All right. At least you guys left me Tyquan Thornton. For Christ's sake. Do I just double tap? Double tap receiver? This is what it's looking like. Yeah, it's I'm not going Dante Foreman with this group. I don't think that's an upside pick. 27% Love. Perfect. Perfect. So you're all in on this offense as a whole. I respect that. I respect that. It's easier to hit a two-man parlay than it would with, players on different offenses. So the fact that you have Love in the 2 pass catchers, I like that a lot. Vaporware says he has 0% Dubes in the big board, 50% in the little board. So 1 of 2 in the little board. He's got 44% Watson with 15% Love. A little dash of Love in there. Honestly, Love could be a blind spot if he's just not very good. He's gonna get the opportunity, it looks like, so he flashed. He did flash in that game Aaron Rodgers left. And then remember Rodgers telling the game wasn't even over. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna miss any games. I'll be back next week." That's so funny. That's so funny. Please don't take my job. Ben's got 27% Watson, Love, QB2 at 16%. Nice. Nice. I'm on pace with Watson. I'm at 8%. I just think where he's going with Love is a little high. It's a little rich. 30% Duvernay. Ooh, we gotta slow down. Yeah, slow down. Everyone got hurt last year, and Devin Duvernay looked bad. When he was the wide receiver 1, he looked bad. Now he's a gadget player. He can return punts, and that's where he scored most of his touchdowns were on these gadget plays and a punt return. What do you have, 3 touchdowns last year? I know he caught 1. early into the season. Hit 3 touchdowns, 1 was like a jet sweep, 1 was a punt return, and 1 was a catch. Uh, just not a very good route runner. I would rather take a chance on some of these upside rookies, Nathaniel Dell or Bryce Ford Wheaton, Trey Palmer, even a Laviska Shenault right now in Carolina, he's back in the conversation. I'd prefer him over Devin Duvernay. We've seen him being able to break long plays for touchdowns. Sniped my Renfro pick, Lee says. I hate Renfro. I think his price is really bad. 167, so he falls a bit here, but it's not enough. With Jacoby Myers there, I don't know. I don't think Jimmy G really provides a lot of upside. They're gonna lean on Josh Jacobs on the franchise tag. They're gonna run him into the ground. Yes, I 100% agree with this. Like, moderating your ownership, especially in the first 10 rounds, and then when we get to especially, like, round 12 on, you can really heavily set target your guys, and if you miss on that guy like Rashid Shaheed, who you're picking in the 13th round every time, it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna kill you. I had 16% Tim Patrick when the season started. We had 24% at one point. Ugly range. Ugly range. Too much talking. Tim Patrick's gone. You sickos. You sickos. I don't like Nico Collins, but let's go Singletary here. We'll take a gamble on Singletary 10 picks after ADP. Who knows where he's going to end up? I might just go Tank Bigsby. I would just rather a rookie wide receiver than some of these guys. John Mechie's interesting. I think I'd be drafting John Mechie over Nico Collins now that we have what's his face in town. Robert Woods is in Houston, so kind of fading both of these players now. But let's get out of here with 2 running backs. I think that's smart. Where our wide receivers are pretty strong. Tight ends, we can always go with tight end later. Don't really want Jimmy G unless I have his pass catchers. So we'll see. Yeah, Hurst signed in Carolina. I don't really think that's a great spot. Like, how is he supposed to outperform where he was last year in Cincinnati, especially when Chase got hurt? Like, Chase was hurt for a few games. I just don't see Hurst improving upon that season. I know no one's in Carolina right now, but yeah, I'm not picking Mac Jones here. I can't. I can't. I can't. If he falls, like, we'll think about it. We'll think about it, but then we probably still won't pick him. Man, I hate drafting in the 12 spot. 2 drafts in a row, and I'm just not thrilled with how the team comes out. Wide receivers are strong. I would have liked to get Deshaun Watson. Where did Deshaun Watson go? He went at 78, so I didn't have a chance to get him because we're not picking him at 61. If he fell to us, I would probably like this team a little better. It's so easy to get boxed out in the 12 spot out of QBs. especially now with Justin Fields going in the mid-3rd, mid to late 3rd. We had 17%, 18% Justin Fields before the DJ Moore news, and now it's just been extremely tough to get him. Let's see. All right. So we're going to get into another draft after this. We hit 22 likes. And if you haven't already, just add another one on top of it. Subscribe to the pound. If you like best ball content, hit the bell for notifications so you can jump in these live drafts with us. And comes with our free draft guide. Just hit us up on the Twitter machine or Instagram at Fancy Dog Pound. All I need is an email. 11 pages worth of player write-ups. It took me 20 something hours. First off, formatting was like I was going back to school, but I think it came out beautiful. Let me know in the comments if you guys have been enjoying it. We do need to re-update it. 2 weeks old, but it's still relative information. And I can tell you guys have read it. We can't even get the guys we want. Sunday, I did 2 drafts from the 1 spot. I love 1. I love 1. I don't love. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes it just depends who falls. 1 is also hard. You can get boxed out at QB. Leo does a good job getting Daniel Jones here at 96. But a lot of the teams that draft from the 1 spot actually go with, Kirk Cousins. So knowing that, I'm sort of fading the Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson squad. Maybe we will go Mac here. I don't love my quarterback room. Just got me cringing. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but I think we have to do it. So this allows us to go Hunter Henry or Hunter Henry's gone. So we can go Conklin. No, Hunter Henry's right there. I'm blind. We'll go Mac. We'll bring in Conklin. So we got Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, bring in Conklin here. We got Tyquan Thornton with Mac Jones. QB room so mediocre, but I think I needed 3. I definitely needed 3 QBs. Wide receiver room's pretty strong, starting with 4 wide receivers here. Did want Deshaun, but it happens. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna piss. So when I get back, it'll be just about time to start up another draft. Be right back, fellas. We're back. 7 picks. I'd even leave the board up for you guys. Man, that's bad. Chase Brown off the board. I like that pick. KJ Hamler. Haven't seen that in a long time. I think he was in the perfect situation last year and just didn't show anything. So I'm fine with having KJ Hamler at 0% this year. Greg Dortch for Arizona. Decent floor play if Hopkins moves on, but not someone that we're really interested in. We're shooting for the ceiling here. We are shooting for the ceiling. 2 picks away, and our team needs a running back. I'd say we can bank on we're kind of betting that Dalvin Cook lands in a good spot here when we pick him at 61. So if he doesn't land in a good spot and he just busts, going 2 running backs here isn't gonna save the team. That's the way I feel about it. Bryce Ford Wheaton's gone. You animals. You animals. Tyler Scott, Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins could still end up somewhere in a beneficial spot. Let's bring in A.T. Perry and for running backs, I've been drafting a lot of Dwayne McBride. I think Abikanda is pretty interesting. He has a lot of, like, top end speed. Thing is, when he gets hit behind the line, like, he can't create yards. So if he ends up on the right team with the good O-line, he can break off some big plays. Not going to be involved in the passing game, though. So I kinda see him he has the game of Derrick Henry. He's not Derrick Henry, though. So bring in a couple upside rookies at the end here. Try to make it a smash pick. See where A.T. Perry ends up. If you watch his tape, super interesting. Dude's long too. Dude's long. 6'3", 198, 4.47 40-yard dash, so he's pretty quick. Now Bryce Ford Wheaton, who we wanted, is taller and faster somehow and heavier. I think Bryce Ford Wheaton, we got him in Dynasty as well for cheap. I don't think anyone knew who he was. They actually had to add him on the list. He wasn't even on the list. All right. We'll pull up everyone's squads real quick. We'll see who paid the rake, and then we'll get into another draft. This was a tough one. I mean, first off, how many pounders were in this draft? Like 9, 10? And then we drafted in the 12 spot on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure if Stevie Ball is here. I'm not sure if Grimy is. I don't think he is. I'm not sure about Hamlin. But Art, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. God damn. Animals. Let me making the final picks here. We see Trey Palmer go at 238. I like that pick a lot. Runs a super fast 40 as well. I think he ran like a 4.38. 5'11. Let's peek it. See if I got that right. If I'm thinking about the right person. While that loads, we'll pull this back up. And we'll go over the squad, starting with Leo. I don't know why this isn't loading. Trey Palmer, 6 feet, 192, ran a 4.33, even faster than I thought. God damn. God damn, god damn. All right. So Leo had Danny Dimes, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy. Cole Kmet, Juwan Johnson, Jelani Woods. I like the tight end group. I think this is fine. You got the rushing upside with Daniel Jones. You have the Brock Purdy upside for when he returns week 15, when Trey Lance gets pulled. Kenneth Walker, Damian Pierce, Miles Sanders, Sean Tucker, Leo Fournette, Jerick McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I think the running backs are serviceable. We'll see where Sanders ends up. I like Sean Tucker as a prospect. Lenny, interesting squad. You got some year 2 guys. You have your vets. Wide receivers, Jefferson, Metcalf, Drake London, JSN, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore, Robert Woods. I like this group. Now, Robert Woods, you select him 15 picks before ADP. You like the landing spot in Houston? I'm sort of fading that spot. I just don't think it's going to be an offense that scores a lot of points. Elan's, Josh Allen, and Geno, definitely agree with stopping with 2 QBs there. Tight ends, George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, and Hunter Henry, super strong at tight end. Super strong. So where are you weak? Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Charbonnet, Tony Gibson, Jeff Wilson, Kendrick Miller. I actually love this running back group. I think you hit some really good values here. Jamar Chase, Christian Watson, Brandon Cooks, Alan Lazard, DJ Chark, Hunter Renfrow, Terrace Marshall, Richie James, David Bell. All right, so we found the spot. I mean, you knew you had to be weak somewhere. I mean, going in elite QB, 2 tight ends that are in the middle of the draft, early middle. So let's see if the wide receivers can hang on. Short Gamer TV, Kirk, Russell Wilson, Jordan Love, TJ Hawkinson, and Dalton Kincaid. Interesting. You can stop at 2 there. It's depending a lot on TJ Hawkinson and then landing spot for Kincaid, and we'll see. Hawkinson going at pick 46, you're kind of depending on him anyways to be that guy to be able to carry at the tight end position. You're being at least charged for that. CMC, Tony Pollard, Khalil Herbert, Damian Harris, and Rashawn Johnson. 10 picks before ADP. With the Zeke news, interesting. Wide receiver, Devonta Smith, Chris Godwin, Gabe Davis, Jordan Addison, Tyler Boyd, Romeo Doubs, Darius Slayton, Greg Dortch, KJ Hamler, Trey Palmer. I like this Palmer pick. I don't like these 2 picks. I think maybe adding another running back or another tight end, perhaps. TB Bucks, Tua, Derek Carr, and Will Levis. He said he was going to draft him. Man of his word. A man of his word. Yeah, you're getting your report cards right now. He's got Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Foster Moreau. TB Bucks just knew that he had to have both tight ends week 17 in order to finish first place. Someone told him that in a dream. At running back, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Kenneth Gainwell, Tajay Spears, and Chuba Hubbard. I like you getting Gainwell at ADP here. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, Olave, Christian Kirk, Bateman, DPJ, Rashid Shaheed, Adam Thielen, Paris Campbell. I think the wide receivers are strong. Where do you guys think Adam Thielen is going? And is he going to retire? Is he going to play football again? Is he retiring? Mahomes, Ryan Tannehill, strong. I love that. Go super, super late QB after going Mahomes in the second round. Paired with Kelsey and CJ Uzuma. I think that's actually interesting as well. Running backs, Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Warren, Cordell Patterson, Chase Brown. I like the wide running back group. Going up and getting your guy in Elijah Mitchell, 9 picks for ADP. It's what you have to do in these Pounders drafts. Wide receivers, Michael Pittman, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, Jacoby Myers, Donald Lee, Hyatt, Alec Pierce, Rondo Moore. So strong at wide receiver. You obviously need some people to hit, but you have a lot of depth. You have a lot of depth here. It's an interesting team. Got a few more here before we get into another draft. Chesley, Deshaun Watson, Staffy, Richardson, Strong, Njoku, McBride, Cade Otton. I think it's middle of the pack to lower, but they're serviceable. Running back, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Swift, James Conner, Jamal Williams, Devin Achane, Zach Evans, and then Kupp, Higgins, Judy, McLaurin, Palmer, Tim Patrick. I like this group. 2-2's a little different at the end there. I don't mind it. Artie, Lamar, Kenny Pickett, and Garoppolo, Waller, and Okonkwo. Chiggy, get Chiggy with it. Bijan, Travis Etienne, Kareem Hunt, Zeke, 20 picks after ADP. Michael Carter, and wide receivers, Adams, Evans, George Pickens, Tony, Juju, Michael Thomas, Chase Claypool, Corey Davis, Devontae Parker, and Russell Gage. I think maybe this Russell Gage pick or the Parker pick should be I'm probably taking a shot on a rookie running back with this group, or at least adding another tight end with one of these two picks, either running back or a tight end, but probably running back. Solid squad. Very deep at receiver, probably too deep. MGL, last one before we get into another draft. Justin Herbert, Bryce Young, Sam Howell, Gerald Everett, Noah Fant, Danny Bellinger again. Danny Bellinger, he's going to be the handcuff to Darren Waller now. Does Waller get hurt? Maybe. But until then, we're going to be fading Danny Bellinger, going pretty much any tight end after him. Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, AJ Dillon. So I like the pairing with Everett, Herbert, and Austin Eckler. DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Cortland Sutton, Josh Downs, Wando Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins, Nico Collins. I think this group's good. The tight ends are a little weak. Running backs are good. You got the double anchor running back start. Joe Mixon, let's see how long he does for a suspension. Maybe it gets pushed off to next year as well. Let's jump into another one. We'll give you the countdown. If anyone's in right now, let us know how many spots there are left. 100 big boards. Yeah, we have cracked the hundy officially. So I'm guessing no one's in yet. So we will do the countdown together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're jumping in. We're waiting on 4 people. You guys are probably already in here. Oh, dear. You're all in here saying there's 8 spots left. All right. These poor folks jumping into a draft right now. They have no idea what's coming. If we get the 12 spot again today, we're officially cursed, right? 3 times in a row. I just do not like how those teams come out. It's bad. Give us some love. Oh, no. At best, we're at the 11 spot. No way. What are the chances? 3 drafts in a row at the 12. Yo, we are cursed. What did I do? Chaz, thank you for coming out. We appreciate you, man. We'll see you on the next one. What did I do to deserve this? 3 drafts. Can someone who's got the numbers? Who's got the numbers on that? What are the chances of getting the 12 spot 3 drafts in a row? And why doesn't that happen with the 1 spot? Oh, I feel like I gotta go to like Foxwoods or something, the casino, and play number 12 now. I haven't been to the casino in so long. God damn. Ben does get the 1 spot. We're proud. We're proud of you. Hamlin Motorsports has not spoken in the chat, but has been in some of our drafts today. We'll be eavesdropping in on the drafts. Could be a blessing. Yes. What's that, 1 out of 144? It's not that bad, I guess. Cooper Kupp goes at 3 here. So we got Ben, Leo, Short Gamer, Vaporware, MGL, Heart Rates, I believe, is also in the stream. I believe he's a pounder. We see Hill go here at 4. CMC falling to the 5 spot. What a gift. What an absolute gift. What happened to Wigglesworth? Yeah, that guy was in every single draft. He was like 21 for 21. I think he maxed out. I saw he was also in a lot of other streamers' drafts, so he maxed out fast. Look at the value on the back end here for these middle picks. Must be nice, must be nice. Angel Chi, welcome to the live stream, my man. The only way to break the curse is to queue up a 4th time. Let's go! Should I do it? Should I do it? Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. We might be back tonight for more drafts. We'll have to see. We might be back at 7 PM. Hart says I'm at the 11. Good luck. Good luck to you. Please don't snipe us. Ah. Oh, man. Do we just do something different here? What if we do this? Like, does anyone have this as their start? You know what I mean? I think that's arguably a good way to get different, is just not going the top 2 guys, maybe picking the next 2. Elim says, "Wow, 12 again." Yeah. How many teams are going to have a Bijan, Saquon Barkley start, though, where the obvious pick is to just go Eckler and Taylor? I think that is an interesting start. Big brain. Big brain strategies. Where they're all in the same tier as well. They're all gonna be in this well, maybe you put CMC in its own tier, and then Bijan, Saquon, Eckler, and JT in the next tier. Because it's heavily gonna depend on if the Chargers bring anyone to, back up Eckler, if Eckler moves on to another team, so there is some unknown. I'm fine with doing this. I've seen Bijan go at 102 and 103. I've seen him picked number 1 overall as well. What's Vinny say? Vinny sends me a DM on the Twitter machine. Justin Fields going at pick 21. That's funny. I did tell him, "Don't be surprised when he moves down to the 2-3 turn." Look at this group. Siphoning the wide receivers. Siphoning the wide receivers. But I do think this is an easy way to get different here. Now, we also passed on some value to you guys, so congratulations. I hate double RB start. Here we go. Not picking a running back till probably round 14, or my luck, you guys will just force me to pick another one because of the value that falls. That's what I hate when such good value falls too, and you're like, "I can't afford to take that position." I don't like being in that situation, so the way I usually balance is accepting the value that falls, being kind of balanced at all positions while trying to obviously correlate. See a run at running back right here. Nick Chubb off the board. There's a few ways we can go. We really need receivers, but yeah, if Fields fell, we definitely would have went Fields, probably slapped the Fields more. But now, I think we just do it. I think we just do it. D-Hop has one more good year in him of wide receiver 1 value. One more year. Damn, you've seen Mac Jones go in the top 30? I have not seen that, although we did see someone reach 130 picks on Baker Mayfield 2 drafts ago. Almost lost my hat. 130 picks. Pretty sure you can have got him in the next round. Take an alpha QB. Yeah, I was gonna take Justin Fields there. Lamar's just he falls so much after ADP that I don't feel like I have to force the Lamar pick, and we have a good amount of Lamar as well, so it doesn't really make sense for our position and exposures to reach on him there. We have 10%. Harris goes at 43. One of the better value running backs, in my opinion. TJ Hawkinson at 44. This is a nice start, though. Diggs, Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Mark Andrews. I like that start. Heart rates with Garrett Wilson, Austin Eckler, Justin Fields, DJ Moore. Nice. So he did exactly what we would have. Nice. I respect it. That's a nice move. I hate the 11 and 12 spot, the 3v3. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. You can get boxed out at QB too. So hoping that Justin Fields fell to us would have been nice. Would have got rid of that worry. How did they void a pick? Scrap the draft? What do you mean? Like when Underdog takes the lineups that are not high ownership or super low percent, they get rid of it? Is that what you're talking about? I think that's more in DFS, like the dailies battle royale. Yeah, like if they suspect collusion, they'll typically just get rid of the lineups. But again, that's not just people reaching and doing dumb stuff. I believe it has to, like, go into, like, patterns and drafting with the same people over and over again, I think is part of that algorithm. Why is Andrews falling? I don't know. Andrews is a great value. If he can get back to 75% of what he did 2 years ago, finishing as the tight end number 1 overall. Again, last year was rough. It was rough for the whole Ravens squad. It was rough for Lamar. It was rough for Andrews. He's probably going too late, and I expect in 18-round drafts for his ADP to be in this 3rd round. But again, like, likely they started to get him involved. Andrews got hurt. He comes back and then likely just kinda rode the bench. So, Andrews is still relatively young. He's 27, turning 28. Double check that. Okay, he's 27, turning 28, September 6th. Ugly. How do we know that just running back value is gonna fall to us? Look at you sickos. Look at you sickos. 1 running back taken since Oh, no. Why? Alright. Alright. We will not be boxed out. We will not be boxed out. We need receivers here. We need receivers here. There's no option. I hate the 12 spot, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Pickens, if you guys haven't told already, like, I'm not high on Pickens this year. He didn't really command the target percent that he needs to go in the 69 ADP range. You guys are all focused, quiet in the chat. The waves are calm. Everyone's focused in the draft right now. Ben's pissing yellow again and on stream. Like, put it away, man. Put that thing away. Christ. Definitely changing the game plan, though, because all those early streams used to get stuck with the running back value, and now you will not be denied. Ben's here to play. See Jalen Hurts and the Trevor Lawrence pick. Interested to see how this team comes out, especially going Goddard as well. 2 early QBs and a relatively early tight end. It's gonna be tough to be strong at receiver and running back, but so far I don't hate it. See how this team comes out. That's interesting. MGL going Joe Burrow. I typically want Higgins or Chase when I go Burrow. I know we've said that before, but if we don't have one of the 2, I'm typically just letting them slide. Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill, Olave, Derrick Henry, Jameson Williams, George Pickens. I think this squad's good. Really nice start. And that's the thing, like, everyone's start's gonna look good through 6 rounds, usually. Usually. Ben just going wide receivers and running back, same thing with Hamlin Motorsports. God damn you guys. Pick another position. I think we may excuse me, my god. I think we may do, though. Bijan, Saquon, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks. I think we may do. Ben with the emojis. Swinging the friggin' mod wrench around. Piss and sunshine. You're sick. You're sick. Who made you a mod? Who made Ben a mod? Who wants it? It's up for sale. 5 picks away. Algier goes like that, but not when you only have 1 receiver. Jesus. All right. Milky might be paying the rake here. If he continues to avoid wide receivers, like, you're probably done it. Like, you're definitely done. You honestly, for this to work, he would have to go 1 QB, stop at tight end. Heart rates. I can't take another snipe, my man. Thank you. Oh my god. I can't I can't take it anymore. Uh, kinda gross. What do we wanna do with this? Ugh, it just doesn't even feel right. Like, this is good. I like Deshaun Watson. Reaching up for Njoku feels gross right here. Let's bring in Zay Flowers. I think I have to. The way you guys are just pissing yellow behind me, I have to. I have look at this. You guys are sick. You guys are sick. I had to go receiver there. Otherwise, I'm gonna get boxed out at receiver. We can always go 3 late tight ends to catch up. This running back range, which I'm expecting we're gonna get running back value to fall to us the way you guys are drafting. How do you guys feel about Jameson? I think this is my first share of him. Jameson Williams. It's I'm impartial right now. I'm not gonna be super heavy weighted on him, but he's not a guy that you want to avoid because he does pose that deep threat speed, can have a huge spike week 17. We'll see. Last year, they started getting him a little involved at the end of the season, but not much. So this is basically his rookie season coming up. We did see Goff overthrow him a couple times when he was wide open. So there's gonna be some growing pains there, I think. Yeah, like Vapor said, he's a spike week guy. You're not gonna want 0% of him just because he has that potential to have a huge spike week with 2 long touchdowns. Kinda like Christian Watson last year at the end of the season. My question is, and what how I like to think about Jameson Williams is where would I put him if he was in this year's rookie draft class? And honestly, it's right around this spot. It's right around this spot. So I think it's fair value. Yeah, everyone's pretty much on the same page. You see some of these running backs flying off the board, please. Yes, please. With double anchor running back build, like you really want to catch up at wide receivers fast, especially when you're on the back end at this 12 spot because it can get ugly fast. It's round 9, and we're looking at like Myers isn't even going to be there. We're looking at Mooney, Juju, Elijah Moore. Ben still just running back, receiver. I like it though. Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins, Khalil Herbert, Jack Charbonnet. Let's go. Let's go. Wide receivers are studs. Same thing with Hamlin. Running backs and wide receivers. Could stop at 5 here, to be honest. I would stop at 5. Catch up at all the other positions. Leo's team's looking strong, balanced. 4 receivers, 3 running backs, and I like the 3. Brings in Darren Waller, has Lamar. Nice balanced build. See D-Monk go here at 104, ADP of 117. We're gonna see that drop though, that ADP. Let's go. Let's go. They both fall. Very excite. After ADP on Njoku. Stoked. Stoked. I might actually like this 12 spot team now. I doubt it. I doubt it. It's at least manageable to look at. Jalen Hyatt. He's going to be a burner in this year's class. Very interested to see where he ends up. If he ends up on the right team, like you put him on, I mean, you put anyone on KC, so that doesn't even count, right? Even if you put him on Carolina with CJ Stroud, that'd be a good situation. Who do you have to beat out? Terrace Marshall? Milan says, I'm taking Mooney if he's there, not gonna lie. That Cleveland stack is a chef's kiss. You might have a completely unique team. I think it's unique just in the fact that we took Bijan and Saquon over JT and Eckler. So just an easy way to get different is not taking the best 2 running backs available and just selecting the 2 that go just after them. They're all in the same tier. I haven't seen anyone do this, so I just think it's an interesting way to start the draft. You get a little different using a little bit of brainwaves on this one. You don't wanna spend too many brainwaves, you know? You gotta save some for rounds 8 through 10. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. Geno Shamithi, followed by Elijah Mitchell. All right, Ben, pull up the exposure, my man. Did your did your exposure to Elijah Mitchell pass mine? Because we were on him super early around 155 all the way down to, like, 130. This is still a fine range to get him, though. Like, where's he going? He's going in front of Jamal, Kareem Hunt, Zeke. Like, yeah, I agree with that. Really do. Especially we don't know the landing spot for Jamal. Now, I don't think he should be falling this far, but there's a lot of good landing spots for running backs right now. Damian Harris, Jamal Williams. I doubt Jamal falls to us, especially with these teams needing running backs. But then we could just box him out at tight end. And where does everyone think DeAndre Hopkins is gonna land? Like, I don't think there's a chance really D-Hop returns to Arizona. Yeah, Vaporware brings in his third running back. I think that's super smart. It's a nice group. It's a nice group. We're never drafting Kareem Hunt here. Zeke, just not interested in. All right. Ben's exposure to Elijah Mitchell's at 21%. Perfect. I think I'm going Kyler. Let's see. Kyler does have the rushing upside. We expect him to start slow. Probably not run much early into the season, but I don't really care. I want him for week 15, 16, 17. Also allows us to go maybe Rondell Moore if he falls. If he doesn't, maybe like a Trey McBride. So it gives us options as well. Let's go Madison here. I don't have a ton of Madison, so a little exposure, smooth out pick. Let's see what the percent is at. 6%. All right, so we're just below. Just below. It's not a big deal. I can't believe Mitchell's ADP is that low. Thought it would rise. So he's one of the people that we called out early, that it was going to drop. He's our number one owned running back with 26%. Our next highest is 20%. He was going around 155. Main reason being he's the handcuff to CMC in a high-powered rushing offense in San Fran. He has 2 touchdown upside. CMC has injury risk, and even then, if he doesn't get hurt, he still has a role in the offense, so there's not much risk, especially when he was going in the 150 range. There was not much risk at all. So he is better priced now, and people are still reaching on him. 134 is way too late. He has to go before Zeke. Penny goes at 140. It's going to be someone we were interested in if he fell to us. This is actually one of the later times he's gone at 140 in today's drafts. So, but if you can identify like where Penny belongs, and that's the biggest thing, it's like, where do we think he should go in the rankings? And then where should we be selecting him? You know, if we think he should be going at 132, yeah, selecting him here at 140 is really good. If we think he should go at 150 and he's ADP's 170 or whatever, then we should just get him when his ADP settles down. But I think this is correct. You're getting him at a good value here because his ADP is it's gonna get ridiculous. It really is. So identify those value pockets. My God, we're almost at 25 likes. We need one more person to tip us over the edge. Jamal fall 20, 30 picks. I'm fine with scooping Jamal if he falls. I'm fine with scooping him. If he goes to Cincy, if he goes to the Chargers, like there's some high-powered offenses that need running backs and that want to win right now. They might not necessarily want to wait to develop a rookie. and Jamal has that, like, certain hands within the 5-yard line. Obviously, how many touchdowns did he score last year? Was it 18? 16, 18 is something ridiculous. Ranstan says, "Dang, missed this one." Yeah, we hopped on at noon. We did 3 drafts. Oh, you guys got us up to 26. You're the best. You're the best. We did 3 drafts today. Said we might go on at 7, but we might cap it here at the 3 and then just come back on tomorrow. I'm off all week. And I have a tree that I have to get the chainsaw out that fell during the snowstorm, so that'll be fun. Tyquan Thornton, no! Our man. It's alright, we got 6 wide receivers at this point, so I'm not feeling forced to go wide receiver here. Getting boxed at running back now. I think Samaje Perine's a super good handcuff now. Going Playing in Denver's a really good spot. They released Chase Edmonds, Javonte Williams with the ACL tear. Let's bring in Samaje Perine so we have these high upside kinda handcuff RBs to back up our double hero RB build or double anchor RB build. I would like to select Bryce Young, but I don't think I can afford to really. Let's just bring in Curtis Samuel. I don't like Thielen. I don't see the upside in Thielen. Respectfully, heart rates. Where do you hope that Thielen ends up? Where do I think Penny should go even if he plays 12 games? So true. Dude, he would go at 120 even if he played the last 5 games of the year. Maybe even he might even go in the 90s. If you guaranteed him to play week 15, 16, 17 at full strength, he'd probably go in the 90s on Philly's offense. But again, he hasn't proven he can stay healthy. You got him at pick 140, it's a steal. It's a steal. Now that we know where he's at, the problem is if you're picking him at 120 and 62% of all drafters got him at 190, 185, 188, you almost are a little too late on that play, and you're better off betting against him. That's how I feel about those. Use it as leverage by fading, maybe just plan on him getting hurt. If you have 32% Penny at this point, you're ecstatic. You're probably not gonna draft him at round 12 if you've been getting him at round 16, round 17. So, you have to kinda play that side of the coin. If you drafted Penny this whole time, late at 180 ADP, I would stop because he's gonna go to, like, 120. You already got the extreme value, move on to the next play. Try to find value somewhere else. And if you missed it, it's tough to eat it. You're now eating all that risk, and you're creating what is thought to be a worse team if you now have to use a 10th round pick on a player that everyone else used a 15th or 16th. So you're just better off betting against them, and then if you want to even out your portfolio, you wait for the next tournament where all the ADPs they don't reset, they take off from this point, but everyone's on an equal playing field with the ADP with the next tournament start. So if you wanna, like, even out your portfolio, you start to think of it as stocks and getting in at different places, that's a good way to do it. You might just have to wait till the next tourney. That's how I feel about Anthony Richardson, where we were getting him in the 20th, 19th, 18th. a little bit in the 17th, then we stopped. Now he goes here in the 14th. It's tough when 40% of drafters got him in those rounds, 20 through 17. So now I'm stopping my exposure. I'll still end up with 7%. If he hits, it won't kill me. If he misses, it definitely won't kill me because I used a super late round pick. Won't even feel it. And he was usually on 3 QB builds. To kinda raise your advance rate, but while always keeping upside as well. Hart says, "Just like Thielen better than the others available, Renfro, Claypool." Yeah, I like him better than those 2. It was dry at wide receiver because everyone's so thirsty for these guys like Tyquan going early, Rashid Shaheed. I would have probably preferred Tim Patrick over Adam Thielen. That is one name that sticks out, especially if we get news that Sutton is traded or Judy's traded. You're gonna see Tim Patrick go in this, what, 140 range? So he could be an ADP riser in a good way. We're sitting with 17 or 16% Tim Patrick right now. Wow, we get Mayer to fall to us, huh? I think we just have to pick him here. We can double tap tight end. Man, I think we double tap tight end here. We pick at 204. Still thinking about it. We have Kyler Murray, so it would be a way to integrate some Kyler into this. God damn. Let's see what heart rates does. Goes Jeff Wilson. Yeah, I was dreaming that Jeff Wilson was gonna fall back down to us. It was definitely a dream. Justice Hill to re-sign with the Ravens on a 2-year deal. Give us better news. You have any Raiders fans in the chat? 4.5 million. Ben's got the deets. Ben's on it. That's why he has the wrench. That's why he has the wrench. I have to. Jimmy Garoppolo goes at 187. Surprised that he should be drafted before these QBs. Definitely now. I mean, the offense for Mac Jones, what's he have to work with right now? They gave away Jonnu Smith. They gave away Myers. You have Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton. It's gonna be run first offense this year again, so Jimmy G definitely can safely be drafted in front of those 2. Kenny Pickett falls to 178 here. I'm just noticing that. 22 picks after ADP. Some good value. That's some good value. So again, this is really just double anchor running back build starting here and then fading running backs until what's this, round 11? Catching up at receiver, catching up at QB, catching up at tight end. And I actually don't mind how this team turned out for a 12 spot team. See how heart rates ended up doing. He caught up at receiver as well, then went running backs. I like that team as well. MGL. The Joe Burrow picks, not my favorite. The reason being, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, they're pocket passers, right? So let's say you make it through to week 15, you make it to week 16. Then you make it to week 17, you're playing against 470 other lineups for 200K. If you moved forward week 15, 16, that means your QBs did good, right? But you are only paired against 12 other teams. Now you're gonna be paired against 470 other teams. If your QBs did well enough to move you forward, typically those QBs are gonna be in the finals. Who is also gonna have those QBs, those 470 other teams, they're gonna have the pass catchers, most likely. And if they spike again to have a good enough week to finish as QB1, because that's what you're hoping. When you select Burrow or Kirk Cousins, you hope that they finish as QB1. How do they do that? By throwing the ball to their pass catchers. So if Burrow gets 35 points, how many points is Chase gonna have? And now you don't have Chase, someone else does. So you raise your chances of finishing first with correlation. That being said, can CeeDee Lamb outscore Chase that week with Burrow still scoring 35 points? You know what I mean? It's tough. Now, if you have a Russian quarterback like Justin Fields, you don't have to stack him and you can get different. But I think with the pocket passers, I'm really not interested in them unless I'm stacking them. Not going Mac Jones here. I think we can actually stop at QB. I'm gonna bring in Pierre Strong, see if they get him involved this year. We have our 3 tight ends. I think these are fine at tight end. Did everyone snipe? Alright. We're getting our rookie here in Bryce Ford Wheaton. 6'4", 220 something, runs a 4.3 4.38, was it? Doesn't matter. It's fast for his size and height. It's fast. Someday I'll have these numbers locked in. 6'4", 221, a 4.38. Okay, I have a problem. I did remember that. We're not gonna risk him not coming back to us. I want a lot of this guy. Milan says, "Fair point, never really thought of it that way, even though I hear people talking about correlation a lot." Yeah, it's just kinda changing your way of thinking a little bit about it, because when you're up against 469 other teams, your QBs did good enough to get you there, and they need to do good enough to have you finish first place. Aren't they gonna have the pass catchers, especially when they're the pocket passers? Elam says, "What's the logic when you say you can stop at QB? What makes you determine that decision?" A lot of things. Who are my QBs? What's left on the board? And relative to other people. So if someone went like 4 QBs, that's typically gonna make everyone else's team a little weaker at QB. So if someone snipes like 2 early QBs, which I don't see anyone doing that here, it will make your 2 QB build a little stronger. It depends on the pairing as well. Like Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray, they both have rushing upside. Now, if Kyler doesn't start the year, this team might struggle a little bit in the beginning, and maybe I have to make up those points at running back or wide receiver or tight end, but it's not impossible. How popular is the strategy at this point, in your opinion? Like the correlation strategy? You see most people correlating nowadays. Like right now, the people that are playing on Underdog are the people that are heavily invested in best ball. They haven't missed a beat typically. Um, they're, like, staying up to date with news, they're staying up to date with the rookies. As we get into the off season, you're gonna get a lot more new folks to best ball. The drafts will be lighter, and not as many people will be correlating. That being said, right now, it's probably about 75, 80% of teams are trying to correlate their lineups in some way. Then it gets down to, like, 50% during the off season. but as best ball stays around longer and longer, just more people will correlate. But it actually helps because if you don't go Joe Burrow here and you're in a sharp room, it allows and it's the right move to let Burrow go here, in my opinion. If you're not gonna get like a Tyler Boyd and maybe you go like Gesicki as a, speculative add to Cincinnati, but it's really the right move, and if you're in a strong room, these QBs that are pocket passers will fall. Kimbas goes Justin Herbert here at 46. I hate it. I hate it. These are our last 2 picks, right? Yeah. We need another running back. We're good at tight end. I think we're good at receiver. Where's Baker Mayfield going again? To Tampa? We don't have anyone on Tampa. I like Chase Brown as a prospect. He had a good combine. So we'll go Chase Brown. I just don't know if I need another floor play at QB. If Kyler Murray misses like 4 or 5 games, this could be a risk. But I mean, we would be adding Will Levis. So I don't know how much upside that really provides us. I like Nathaniel Dell here. Yeah, let's go Dell. No worries, my man. Ben says, "This might be weird depending how my draft goes. I'm really hoping or expecting to make it even to the final round. Some teams I build and make round 2, maybe round 3. Of course, every draft has a chance within the build constraints." Yeah, and honestly, my lineup, we did 35 puppy 4s or puppy 3s, whatever the bigger one is with 200K to first. 12 made it out of the first round, so just over 33%. 4 made it to round 16 from week 15, and then 1 made it to round 17. It was my worst looking lineup. It was my worst looking lineup that made it to the finals. I had a 4 running back build that had Jacobs, CMC, man, I forget the other 2. It was just a smash 4 RB pick lineup, and, like, they just you can't control who does good week 16. You can't control who does good week 17. You could have the nicest looking, well correlated lineup. Jalen Hurts didn't play that week. I also had Derrick Henry. He didn't play that week. So there's a lot of stuff that we can't control, and you can kind of base your success on what percent of lineups you're moving forward from week 14 into week 15. So how many times are you finishing in the top 3, uh, when these tournaments are finished? That's how you can base your success. So if you're over 27.5%, that's really good. Um, that's gonna be with rake included, right? So you're not gonna make your money back because of the way that tournaments are set up, that you have to, you really have to move deep into the tournament. That takes a little bit of luck. But for cash games with a 41% ROI with no outlier games that was a huge cash. So there's no outlier prize in there. It's just consistency. But for tournaments, you wanna shoot for typically over 30%. And that is including with only 2 teams moving forward, 2 out of 12 and 3 out of 12. So we're 102 down. I think we have 2 slow drafts as well, so we have 56 drafts left. So Ben squad, Geno, Staffy, and Mac Jones falls in these Pounders drafts. 20 picks for Staffy, 30 picks for Mac Jones. Gerald Everett and Isaiah Likely. Wow, you really are putting a lot on these 2 guys' shoulders. I think I'm going a 3rd tight end. in my opinion. Kenneth Walker Robbins, Khalil Herbert, Zach Charbonnet, Elijah Mitchell, RB room, awesome. Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, Michael Pittman, Drake London, Deontay Johnson, Isaiah Hodgins, Alec Pierce, Terrace Marshall, Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne. I like the Kendrick Bourne pick as the last pick. I think this Isaiah Hodgins could have been a tight end, like a Chicky or something. You'd be looking good. Chicky or even Taysom Hill. I think you need one more. Hamlin Motorsports, not sure if he's in the live stream, so I'm not going to cover his lineup. Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Very neat. Very neat, Leo. He's got Derrick Henry, Cam Akers, AJ Dillon, Kenneth Gainwell, Zeke, Jerick McKinnon, Clyde. Is this deja vu? I feel like you had these 4, or at least these 3 to finish your last draft. Darren Waller, Cole Kmet, Zach Ertz. I like the tight end room. Hill, Olave, Jameson Williams, George Pickens, Claypool, Isaiah, McKenzie, Richie James. I like where you started. You got Claypool, 9 picks after ADP. That's fine. Isaiah McKenzie is a wait and see. But I would have liked to see one more, maybe rookie prospect instead of a CEH. Your RB room was already super strong. Short Gator TV, Tua and Trey Lance, TJ Hawkinson, Jelani Woods. I like the tight ends. CMC, Ramondre Stevenson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashad Penny, and Jalen Warren. I think this group is awesome. Stopping at 5 here is smart. Stopping at 2 QBs here is fine. You bring in Waddle with Tua. You got JSN, Jahan Dotson, Jacoby Myers. So you have 4 wide receivers through the first 100 picks. Makes sense why you went 11. Wandale Robinson, Rashid Shaheed, Hunter Renfrow, John Mechie, McCole Hardman, Devin Duvernay, Xavier Hutchinson. I like Hutchinson as a prospect. Devin Duvernay, we've already covered. Not our favorite pick, but Vaporware, Jared Goff, Derek Carr, Anthony Richardson. 13 picks after ADP. Kyle Pitts, Jawan Johnson, Darnell Washington. I like the tight end group. I like the QB group. He does give you a rushing floor with these 2, so I can understand why you go him here. Nick Chubb, James Conner, Jamal Williams, 17 picks after ADP. Damian Harris, Rashawn Johnson, Kendrick Miller, Dwayne McBride. I like these 3, and you only really have to hit on one for this to work. And we'll see where Damian Harris and Jamal Williams land, but this could be super nice. Devontae Adams, Amon Ra, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, Elijah Moore, Tyler Scott. Cool. Solid team. Very well balanced. MJL, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Kenny Pickett, strong at QB. Kenny Pickett, 22 picks after ADP. You got Kirk Cousins, 11 picks. So you just value town to QB. Knox, Noah Fant, Jake Ferguson. I think the tight ends are okay. Noah Fant's not my favorite. When Will Disley went down with the injury last year, we saw Noah Fant not pick up the tight end 1 duties. Actually, Parkinson came in and they shared a 50-50 role, and Parkinson arguably outplayed Fant. That being said, I am doing a little bit of Fant with my Geno stacks, but that's about it. Running back, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Sean Tucker, Tajay Spears, Cordell Patterson, Zach Evans, Jerome Ford. I think the RBs are strong. I mean, you got a solo hero build pretty much, and then Swift, I think, will still do good. I think there's a little bit of overreaction, but getting him at pick 63 is good. Lamb, Debo, Chris Godwin, Bateman, Cortland Sutton, Mooney. Yeah, that's a nice wide receiver room. That's a nice wide receiver core. Heart rates, Justin Fields and Baker. I like it. I'm hoping to see some Tampa Bay in there. Mike Gesicki, Kincaid, and Hunter Henry, excuse me. I like this group. I think that's fine. You have a base with Hunter Henry. We'll see where Mike Gesicki lands. Don Kincaid, same thing. 9 picks after ADP. I like it. You definitely had to go 3 there. Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Kareem Hunt, Devin Achane, Donta Foreman, Jeff Wilson. I like it. We'll see if Eckler can kind of command that same role that he did last year. We'll see where I think he's going to come back to LAC. But we'll see if they draft someone better than Joshua Kelly. Wilson, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown. All right, so you picked in front of us. It makes sense. I'm here's all the guys that I wanted. Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Quentin Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Jalen Hyatt, Adam Thielen, Russell Gage. I think the wide receiver core is strong. I'm fine with the Russell Gage pick too because you have 2 rookies that typically start slower, so you're getting someone that's gonna provide you a floor, and it's a last round pick. So who cares? Baker Mayfield with Russell Gage, put it on the board. Good for 3 touchdowns week 17. We had Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, 2 QBs with rushing upside, David Njoku, Michael Mayer, Trey McBride. So we paired the QBs with the tight ends. Bijan, Barkley start, Alexander Madison, Samaje Perine, Pierre Strong, Chase Brown, Alvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks, Zay Flowers. So we had to go get our guys. We had to go get our guys reach a little bit in the 12 spot here too. Zay Flowers, DPJ did fall to us basically at ADP. Curtis Samuel, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Nathaniel Dell. We were reaching all over the place. I hate drafting from 12. That being said, I think this team turned out the best of the 3. If you didn't see the other 2 drafts, we drafted from the 12 3 times in a row. So if you want, you can go check those out. Daryl, welcome to the live stream. Uh, better late than never. Appreciate you guys coming out. Of course, the support that you guys show is just awesome. You guys keep coming out. I'm gonna keep coming out. We're gonna keep putting content for the people. And yeah, we're gonna get some more drafts going tomorrow. So hit the bell for notifications so you guys can get into those live drafts. Vapor says practice makes a dent in your wallet, a permanent one, and hopefully we can refill it at the end of the season. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Pounders.